So we made it to DC. From Cali, we got Hannah.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, there we go. And we're gonna get hit by a car.
Don't
Hold
do
on.
that.
And we did some damage.
Oh yeah.
We did some damage already. We've been here less than an hour. And we made friends. We made friends already. I mean, this sounds accurate, but it's a little funny. We are a little bit of a walk, but that's okay. We need to get our steps in.
It's nice out.
It is gorgeous. It's so much nicer than last year.
To be fair, I blame the hotel system.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. So the two hotels basically have the same name, except for one has an added name, and it's kind of stupid. They should really do that better.
Yep.
So, yes, but we're gonna walk back. I'm out of breath because I'm really out of shape. Gosh.
My hour-long walks are coming in clutch right now.
This is why I wanted to start running in the mornings. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I'm walking. Perfect weather, look at that sky. And we've got our first stop. Hannah, welcome to the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, you gotta wait until you see him though. Because that's the view you want.
Oh shit.
God. So what do you think?
I'm speechless. Where am I? It's surreal. Oh my god. That's so cool. Holy shit.
Dinosaur.
You okay?
How's it going?
Good.
Yay. Yes, every 8th grader is here, so we're outside because here's all the buses. All of the buses.
I mean, I will say last year this was all food truck.
That's true.
So.
It was. So. Is the ground shaking?
Like a little, yeah.
Oh, look, your teacup's shaking.
That's
Your teacup's rattling. too.
yeah. Oh.
Oh, dear.
I could not withstand hours of
Are you gonna win a staring contest?
Kite-spiel.
Ooh, that's annoying.
Uninterested.
You're uninterested or you are interested?
I haven't made up.
That's fair. Here, stand next to it. See how big it is. They're large.
They're huge.
Except for that one. That one's cute. That one's a little skateboard.
Little baby rovers. Whose moons are these? Jupiter. Oh, okay. Oh. That's cool.
Is this how the Titans escape? Hello. Let's start with Callie's books. So which pile is which?
So the one with the obnoxious amount of books is for the afternoon in the
That
ballroom, and then the shorter pile of books is for the morning. So I'll just be stressed in the afternoon, which is fine. There's a lot of the same author in there, which is helpful. I just brought a lot, and I have a problem. And then pre-order is a thing. So.
And then we have quite a few pre-orders for the afternoon.
Yeah, pre-orders. We're gonna tab them with our names next, and then I think go over pre-orders. Correct?
How about your piles?
Morning, and then my afternoon is also pretty scary looking. So, and then pre-orders are a thing. Like, so we'll see.
It'll be fun.
You're even. I hate you.
I have a lot more pre-orders though. This is my morning pile and this is my afternoon pile. But I also bought a full series for the afternoon.
You did.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered a full series because I have no self-control. So now we're gonna go through and we're just gonna put the
Yep. We've got
notepads.
Post-its, Sharpies, put our names in it, make the authors' lives easier, and then pack them up. Pack up the morning ones at least, and then go through all of our pre-orders to make sure we don't miss anything, and then I guess tag other authors we want to see.
Yeah.
And then kind of come up with like an action plan. That's
game
what I
plan.
got. And then maybe order dinner.
And we do want dinner.
We do want dinner at some point
Taco Bell,
because
probably.
it's been a long ass day.
We did have food truck for lunch.
We did.
It was quite good.
It was good. It was very good.
Damn good.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it was good because it was good or I was just that hungry.
I mean, to be fair, it could be both.
It could be both. So we got a couple of vendor pre-orders and then we went to the bookstore, but we've already kind of sorted those into our piles already. One of the not pre-orders, one of the things we found at the bookstore, they did have all the H.D. Carlton books, not all of them, but Sarah and I originally pre-ordered Does It Hurt, and she had two or three copies left in the bookstore, and we still wanted to support the author even though she can no longer come, which we're sad about, but with her family situation, we hope she's doing well, and we wish her all the best, but we still wanted to support her while we were here, so Sarah and I each bought one. Now, pre-orders. So, the first company that we ended up grabbing our pre-order from was from Novel Grounds. Sarah and I both got this ApollyCon shirt. Neither of us were planning on getting a shirt, and then we saw the dragon.
And we went, yes, please.
Yep.
This is mine now.
So we each got this shirt, and then I also got this little canvas wristlet, so when I run out of room on my book sleeve, I'm gonna have authors sign this. So I've got that. And then Sarah and I also both got stuff from Fable Grounds. So we both ended up grabbing this beautiful ApollyCon 2023 mug that we are obsessed with. So and then we each got coffee, so I'll go through Sarah's. She got a big bag of, gosh, what is this?
There you go.
But she got second breakfast in the 12 ounce.
And that is not ground, that's full beans.
Oh yeah, these are full beans, I can tell.
Because that's easier, that lasts longer.
And then she got the Tropes package, because of course she did, which includes The Chosen One, Enemies to Lovers, The Dark Lord,
which is Chaotic Roast. I'm so excited about this.
And The One Bed.
There we go.
So that's what Sarah pre-ordered. Now for me, I didn't end up getting a full bag because I didn't like any of those options. I like flavor in my coffee. So instead, I got the Mythical Creatures one, which includes Vampire Fangs, Woodland Elf, I don't know if you need me to do that one. Mermaid Melody, Fairy Magic, and Werewolf Bite. So that's what I ended up grabbing. And then the last thing we ended up getting tonight, so we got the Friday Pass, which means we got a book, which we didn't learn about until what, last week?
Yeah.
Something like that. We didn't expect it.
And all three of us got a book, too.
Yes, all three of us got it, because we get to go see the panels. And it is book 2 in the companion series to From Blood and Ash. So it's Shadow and the Ember, which is the series, but we got book 2, which is Light in the Flame, which is beautiful and orange.
Very orange.
So very orange, but we also got this really cool thing, which I'm now gonna use as a book sleeve forever and ever. And then we got all of our fun wristbands that are stuck.
All of the wristbands.
All of the wristbands. And that's so far what we got just on day 1.
And yes. That's it.
But yeah, we're gonna tab and we're gonna get dinner.
Say hi, Hannah.
Hi.
How's your first day of ApollyCon?
It's good. I'm having a great time.
How's your first time in DC?
Oh my gosh, it was so much cooler than I was expecting, honestly. Yeah.
Like, it seems so geeky, but then you actually go and it's like, this shit's cool!
Like I said, I'm like obsessed with the West Wing, so at every corner I turned on, I was like, oh my god. I'm I'm on
Good.
set.
Good.
So.
All right. And all right, so all of the books, and let's do stuff.
Let's go.
Now we're working. All right, so we didn't film yesterday because we were doing panels and stuff, but say hello, Hannah.
Hello.
There's a Hannah, and there's a Callie. Everybody's here. But we will go through all this stuff later. But we're here, and we go to the first signing in an hour. Well, it starts in an hour, so we can sit in line an hour beforehand. So we are sitting in line an hour beforehand.
We have good spots though.
We do have good spots. We're really close to the doors, so that's good. Run in, and we're gonna go get the ticketed author tickets, so we know when we can go get signed them signatures. Yes, I'm tired. Yeah, cool. That's my little miniature update. That's what I got. Anything else? There's more people less than an hour later.
So we're back from signing.
It's been 2 days since I have really filmed much of anything. The panels were great. The panels were a lot of fun. We did that on Friday. All three of us, each of us went to 3, and we had a good time.
Yep. Do you want to talk about panels?
We could.
We can talk about panels.
Hannah, do you want to come talk about panels? Okay.
You can be a voice over in the ether.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Yeah. I guess we could talk about panels really quickly.
Yeah. So in the morning, all 3 of us were in very different panels.
Yes.
I went to the romantasy panel, which was a bunch of authors who specialize in writing fantasy with high romantic themes.
I went to the pub tales, which was publishing tales, so stories about how authors got published, how they publish now, and kind of their journey through publishing.
And then Hannah went to Slay and YA, which was apparently very fun as well, because it was all very YA geared authors.
And then the second one, we all
went to the same one.
We all ended together, like not on purpose, really either.
No, we just all wanted to go. It was Besties, Babes, and Brains. So it was authors that specialize in friendships, smart heroines, and just kick-ass heroines. And that one was really fun. I really enjoyed that panel.
It was a lot of fun. It was really inspiring too to be able to listen to a bunch of the different authors. And they also had a lot of fun doing the panel.
They did.
Too.
You could tell they had a good time, and they cared about the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, I was the odd one out and went to the Monsters, Beasts, and Paranormal panel.
Which, if you've been into any sort of monster romance, you'll kind of know more of what that is about.
Yeah, I can't talk about that here at all.
We'd like to keep this channel. Thank you very much.
And this is very PG. And that panel was not PG.
And then Hannah and I went to Scorchin' Rom-Coms, which was really fun. It was moderated by Erin Malone, and so she just turned it into like a big conversation between all of the authors as they talked about what got them into writing comedy in their romance stories and why they write comedy. And it was just a lot of fun, and it was really funny at the same time. So
yeah, they were really cool. After the panels, we kind of stuck around the hotel for a little bit, thinking something might pop up. There was an event we were going to be able to go to yesterday evening, but instead we went back, ordered Taco Bell, and took a nap.
A 3-hour nap.
It was glorious.
Yes. I didn't take a nap, but everybody else took a nap.
She finished a book.
I read an entire book, so I will take that. Considering that brings my count of books I've read this month up to 2, I will take that.
Well, we tried to kind of relax before the big day, which was today.
So if you guys remember our video from last year, we
Blacked out.
We got a couple books.
Just a few.
And this year, well, I think we blacked out again.
Like a little.
Just a little bit.
I don't know what happened.
I really don't know what happened. It didn't feel this dramatic.
It really didn't.
We were walking around with bags full of it did not feel this dramatic.
No.
But
here we are, and we're gonna go through them.
Yes, so I hope you enjoy this. Chaos is what this has turned into.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now we need to organize.
Now we're gonna organize them because this is just a pile of nonsense.
Yes.
Alright.
Wow, we got a lot of this.
We did, we got a lot of the same books. It helps that one's like an entire series.
Yeah.
So, these are the books that we got that are
the exact same.
Yes, so we're gonna go through them together so you don't have to go through them twice.
Exactly.
We're gonna start with the book that I've read that Callie hasn't.
I know.
Never happens.
It never does.
And it's a Megan Quinn book, and it's The Highland Fling.
I actually just started this. I'm like 75 pages into it, and I love it. And I'm really glad that they had this at the bookstore, and I just went, yep, mine.
So I read this book last year before ApollyCon, and I actually went on a search for it when we got here, but they weren't selling it in the store, and she was sold out of books by the time we got to her last year. Mm-hmm. But I absolutely love this story. I think this was the first Megan Quinn book I actually read, and honestly, in my opinion, if you're just starting out reading Megan Quinn, this is a great place to start. It really is.
10 out of 10 would recommend this far.
So basically, it's about an American who, her and her friend lose their jobs, they lose basically everything, and they end up applying for and winning the chance to run a cafe in Scotland.
A tiny ass town. It's got like 350 people.
Yes, a very small town.
And a grumpy handyman.
Who was unaware that his grandparents were renting out the cafe.
Parents.
Oh, that's right. His parents were renting out the cafe and is very unhappy that they are doing so.
Yeah.
It's adorable. It's so cute. There's a couple spicy scenes. I wouldn't call it smutty. But there's spicy scenes and they're adorable. The couple are adorable, I should say. I don't know that I'd ever call spicy scenes adorable.
That's one way to put it.
That's a little weird.
A little bit. The next one we have is Erin Malone, and we both got Shark Bait by Erin Malone and her Natural Histories novella, which she just dropped about a month ago. So I've read the first two, which I also did purchase. She already had them from last year, but I wanted them because I listened to them. I really enjoyed it. And I've been waiting for Shark Bait to drop on audio on the platform I use, and it hasn't yet, but now I can just read it and get to the novellas, and I'm excited about these. And the main character in Flirtosaurus was Callie, and that was great for me.
The main story for the first one follows Callie, who's a paleontologist, and the love interest is an astronomer, I believe.
Yep.
So
they're adorable, and Callie is extremely chaotic, and I live for it.
And Erin Malone is just a wonderful human being, honestly.
Amazing.
She's so much fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next set of books that we picked up, we didn't actually pick them up. So what happened was someone approached us after the morning signing. We were sitting on the floor waiting for somebody. Waiting for somebody that we had met to show up, and someone walked over to us and said, "Hey, we have these things. Do you want them?" And we said, "Sure." Only to realize it was a bag of books
and swag
and totes. And we went, oh? And her comment was basically that they ran out of room, which they seem to have switched that problem over to us.
A little bit, but hey, whatever.
So we managed to get a couple books each, but these are the two that we both got. The first one I'm really excited for is Magic Midlife Madness by K.F. Breene. I have not read a K.F. Breene book.
I have. They're great.
But this one is about a 40-year-old woman whose husband leaves her, her son goes off to college, and she decides to take a fresh start in a small town and ends up taking care of what seems to be quite possibly a haunted house. And I'm here for that. I think this sounds amazing and like so much fun.
The other one is My Lucky 13 by Piper Rain. It is a hockey romance where a guy sleeps with a girl and then wins. He gets this huge hockey thing. What was it called again?
It's called a hat trick, which means he scores 3 goals in one game. They're not common.
And he hunts her down and is like, no, you need to stay with me.
Because you're my good luck charm.
You are not my good luck charm. And I've been dying to read a Piper Rain book, and I was so happy that this was in there.
So we got these for free.
Yep.
All right, next book we picked up is actually from an author who was not here. H.D. Carlton, you've heard us both talk about her before. Mm-hmm. She was unable to make it this year, and we completely understand. We were bummed, but they had her newest book, Does It Hurt, at the bookstore.
Which we both pre-ordered before she dropped out. Mm-hmm. So when we saw that they had Does It Hurt, we both picked it up. Yeah. We still wanted to support her as an author at the event.
And we still wanted to read the book.
That as well. This is an extremely dark romance.
When you read an H.D. Carlton book, read the triggers and take the triggers seriously. They aren't just like minimal warnings. No, take them seriously. Mm-hmm. This one, I believe, involves a lot of...
drowning.
Yes.
A lot of drowning.
Not actually killing drowning.
Oh, but close.
But close.
Very close.
In a...
it's on like an island.
In an oddly sexual way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do with that one yet. We'll see. But yes, so this is her newest. Very excited for it. But yes.
Yeah. So the next one, we actually both pre-ordered a series. I got one less than Sarah because I already I ordered book 1 and I did bring it, but I didn't pre-order it. So that is...
Book 1 is...
An Air Comes to Her Eyes by Chloe C. Penaranda. And then book 2 is A Queen Comes to Power.
Book 3 is A Throne from the Ashes.
And then is A Clash of Courts. And the most recent one that dropped in January is A Sword from the Embers and book 6.
5.
This is 5.
Yeah.
Book 6 will be dropping December of this year.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's gonna be like 8.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
And they just keep getting bigger.
Yeah, they do.
Because this one is...
I think 600, 700 some. It was an ebook
733 pages.
Yep. So I read these all in ebook form in January and became obsessed with them and bullied Sarah into kind of pre-ordering the entire series. And I don't feel bad.
Kind of. They're heavy. They're very heavy books.
We went and picked these up right away so that we could remember that we had these pre-ordered, and I regretted that.
I carried them around for like 5 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't fun because they're hefty.
They're very heavy books. They're very pretty books.
Oh, they're gorgeous books, but
they're heavy.
I'm really happy I'll have them on my shelves now.
And the author is amazing. She's so cute.
So sweet.
We had a good conversation. I really like her.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
The last one that we have in common is the special edition of A Light in the Flame by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So we found out we were getting these like 2 or 3 days ago. A week ago?
Yeah, not even a week ago, I don't think.
Because we thought this was just for Titans, but it was for all the Friday passes. And so we were handed this at registration and went, oh,
look, we got a thing!
So we have this. So I actually, funny enough, one of the JLA books I brought was this book, but I have the normal edition. And I got that signed, because this also comes signed.
So. Yep.
But yeah, it's not a JLA con without getting a JLA book. And I got this one. We got this one.
So our next category that we are going to be showing you are authors that we got books from. We both got books from the same author, but they're different books.
But we got different books.
I feel like there's a better way to word that, but I can't come up with it right now.
This is what sleep deprivation is.
I'm tired. It's been a long day, man.
So the first author that we both got a book from was K.A. Tucker.
I got The Simple Wild. In this series, this is the first book about a girl who leaves Toronto and goes and lives with her estranged father in Alaska and meets a pilot up there.
A bush pilot.
A bush pilot.
Yeah, she does.
Callie's read the whole series.
Yeah, I have. For her, I I pre-ordered A Curse of Blood and Stone. This is the sequel to her fantasy series, which I have read, and I also brought the first book, but this is a portal fantasy series where a human is literally dropped into a fantasy realm with the face of a murderer, and she wakes up with the prince with his knife at her throat going, "Why did you kill my family?" And she's like, "Who are you?" And our story goes on from there. It's fantastic, and I cannot wait for book 3 to drop in September.
The next author that we have in common is Harper L. Woods, and I picked up the first book in the Of Flesh and Bone series, which is What Lies Beyond the Veil.
And then I grabbed books 2 and 3, which is What Hunts Inside the Shadows and What Lurks Between the Fates. And then at the bookstore, they had her other series that dropped earlier this year, The Coven. I know this is about witches and that's it, and I love her writing. But I've read that book. I brought that book. I've read that book. It's fantastic. I wanted 2 and 3. This is going to be like a 6-book series too. Enjoy.
Next author, actually we both got the same amount of books from this author, which is kind of cool. And that's Megan Quinn. You want to go first for this one?
Yeah, so I ended up getting the illustrated editions of her Kane Brothers series. Now, I did pre-order all 3, but there was a misprint on one of the books, so Megan Quinn's going to be sending me a different copy. She was very sweet about it, and I totally understand. But I got the illustrated editions of So Not Meant to Be and A Long Time Coming, which I read earlier this year and loved.
And they're
so
huge.
much. They are. They're really big, but the illustrations are beautiful.
Compared to the original book, like, I'm holding it sideways so you can see how thick it is.
Sorry.
Yeah. Like, it's quite a bit larger.
Like a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. And I got a Not So Meet Cute by her, which is the first one in that series.
The one I'm missing.
And then I got the first one in another series by her, which is Kiss and Don't Tell.
In the Agitator series.
Which is a hockey romance as well, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
I would apologize. But
You're
I'm not gonna.
sorry. The next author that we both got books from is Savar Miller, who she was very sweet.
She was really sweet.
Her table was like, there wasn't a long line when I was there. But
there was a huge
it was like
line at
either
the
a huge
beginning.
long line or there was no one there.
at all.
And I happened to go when there was no one there.
Yeah, I went. She was the very last author I saw, and there was no one there, thankfully.
So,
Because I was done waiting in lines.
she was very sweet. But I got the second book, which is Vipers and Virtuosos.
Which is a Orpheus and Eurydice retelling. I also pre-ordered that one. And then I also pre-ordered Oaths and Omissions, which is a Helen of Troy retelling. And then I also, at the bookstore, I found books 4 and 5. So Arrows and Apologies, which is an Apollo and Daphne retelling. And then Souls and Sorrows, which is the 5th book, which is a Eros and Psyche retelling. Because I've read all of these in the span of a week and became a little bit obsessed. And I only pre-ordered 2 and 3 because I wasn't sure if I'd like 4 or 5. And I did, so I bought them.
She's only a little obsessed.
I love this series. It is a dark romance inspired by Greek mythology love stories.
Mm-hmm. We got a cool set of swag that has stickers of all of the couples' names in it. So
Yeah, it's really cute. So the next grouping that we have are the books that we pre-ordered and that were very different from each other. So the first one I pre-ordered the entire series of A Ruin of Roses by K.F. Breen. I read these on Kindle Unlimited a couple months ago and really liked them. Saw she was going, so I got the entire series because there was a deal and no self-control. So A Ruin of Roses, A Throne of Ruin, A Kingdom of Ruin, A Queen of Ruin. I got all of these and I'm really happy. And I knew they were long books. This is a very dark Beauty and the Beast shifter romance. But yeah, I know they were long on the Kindle, but like seeing them, they're so big. When she handed me the pile, I went, oh dear God.
These also aren't all the books we pre-ordered. These are just the ones that didn't match what the other person pre-ordered based. So just so you know, we did pre-order a whole lot of what we have.
Yeah.
Like a heck of a lot of what we got.
These are just the ones that are special to us.
Alright, so I actually ordered from L. Penelope, or Leslie Penelope, who writes both YA and adult books, and I believe the first book that I got is Song of Blood and Stone by L. Penelope. I believe this is YA. I honestly don't remember exactly. I don't remember a lot about it, but it is a high epic fantasy about a girl who wakes up with magic. So I'm excited for this one. And then the other book I got from her was The Monsters We Defy. This is a relatively new release. I believe it came out at the end of last year. And it's all about, I believe, a coven of witches and magic in 1920 Washington, D.C. So it's very full of all sorts of races, all sorts of types of people, and I'm very excited to read these books.
She talked about that on the Romantasy panel, and I was very interested, but I think when you told me you pre-ordered it, I'm going to just be like, I must just steal it.
Which is what she usually does anyway.
Yes. The next author I pre-ordered from was Helena Hunting. I ended up getting Pucked, which is one of what kind of launched her into stardom. So I read the first 3 books on Kindle, really liked the first book, so I pre-ordered the special edition cover, and then she gave me a free book of Not Just a Crush. I have no idea what this is. I honestly didn't notice it until I was unpacking, so there's that.
Also, sorry, the air conditioner just kicked on. So if you're hearing that, that's what it is. It's kind of stuffy, so yeah. The next person that I picked up pre-orders from was Jennifer Estep, who I picked up pre-orders from last year. This year I actually picked up 2 of her earlier series, so I believe this is her first, one of her first series, and this is Karma Girl, which is the first book in the Big Time series. This is about a city where everyone is a superhero, and it follows a girl who is known as Karma Girl, and I really don't know a lot more than that, but I'm really excited. It is like a 5 or 6 book series, but it sounds absolutely adorable. I just love the idea of all these superheroes running around the city all together, because I feel like that's just mass chaos waiting to happen. And the other book I picked up from her is the first book in the Section 47 series, and that is A Sense of Danger. This is a spy mystery. So here, look at me. I go to a romance festival, or a romance convention, and I pick up the mystery and spy books that I can find. So yeah, I have actually the first 2 of these on Kindle, but I honestly really like the idea behind them, so I did pick up the first one.
Next author I pre-ordered from was Lexi Ryan. Lexi Ryan is currently very famous for her These Hollow Vows duology, which is a YA fantasy, YA-NA fantasy, but she really got her start in romance, which I didn't know until last year when we met her. So I pre-ordered the first book in her most popular romance, which is the like Bayshore Boys, something like that, and it is The Wrong Kind of Love. I also pre-ordered Maisie Eddings. She is the author of the Brush with Love romantic series, which is a bunch of companions surrounding friends, and this book just dropped about less than a month ago, and that is the +1. So when I saw she was going and had a pre-order for it, I snatched it up.
And the last author I pre-ordered from is AJ Verana. I got her 2 books, The Hollow Gods and The Echoed Realm. These are, I believe, the first 2 books in this series, and it is about a town called Black Hollow. And this first one follows a boy named Kai who wakes up next to the lifeless body of a once missing girl, and he has no recollection of what happened before that. That's really what I know. He is also a fighter of some sort, and there is like a lot of magic in this world. But actually, so fun fact, these are not actually the original covers for this book series. The reason being, I actually, when I pre-ordered, it was different covers, which were really cool. They had crows on them and stuff like that, but these are her new covers because she rewrote these books. When she originally wrote them, there was no spicy scenes in them whatsoever. She decided to go back and rewrite them with spice because that's how she wanted it. Originally, she honestly didn't feel, well, what she told me was she didn't quite feel that it was quite right, so she went through and she added stuff and she fixed it up. There was also the option to pick up the original covers with the extra scenes in an envelope, which I thought was kind of fun, but I did end up going with these ones. So I am really excited to read these because these covers are friggin' beautiful.
They are so pretty. The last pre-order that I did was with Stacey Marie Brown, which I grabbed Savage Lands and the sequel Wildlands. This is a 6-book series surrounding fae, prisons, war, all sorts of fun things that I love. I read Savage Lands, I liked it. I didn't have access to the second book, so I just sort of dropped the series. Not for a fact of not because I didn't like it, just because I couldn't get to the next one. So I'm gonna reread Savage Lands and then go into Wildlands, and there was a weird Kindle Unlimited sale with the rest of the series, so that's just sitting in my Kindle, patiently waiting. The next set of books we have are from the Bookstore. So on site, Barnes & Noble and ApollyCon have this deal where they will bring a bunch of books featuring the authors that will be at the convention. So if people didn't want to bring them and wanted to look at them elsewhere, they had the option. So these are some of the books that we got from the Bookstore. The first one I got was the Book of Azrael. I've seen this book all over my TikTok feed and I've been meaning to get to it. I did not realize this author was going to be here. So when I realized that, I immediately grabbed it. This is a dark, fae, fantasy romance and I'm here for it.
These are also not the only books you bought at the Bookstore.
No, just the ones that are different from each other.
Yes. And the first one I picked up Fatal Deception by April Hunt. Unfortunately, I did learn this is like book 4 or 5 or something ridiculous in a series, so we'll see what I end up doing with it. I couldn't find the first one.
It's funny enough, April Hunt is also April Asher, which I grabbed a book from, which is Not Your Ex's Hexes. This is the companion series to Not the Witch You Wed, which I just read a couple weeks ago and really, really loved. She did not have a pre-order up at the time by the time I wanted to grab it, so I hoped and prayed it would be at the bookstore or at her table, because last year she ran out so fast, and when I saw the small pile of these books at the table, again, I snatched it. It was mine.
The next one I picked up was Tough Justice by T.O. Fallon, which is the book I read while everyone else was sleeping. I read this entire 300 and some odd page novel in 3.5 hours. I'm pretty proud of myself. This is a K-9 Special Ops book. These books have turned into palate cleansers for me and I intensely enjoy them. This one does include a pupper, so that is also very helpful. He is a DEA agent trying to take down a new drug on the streets, and she is a doctor who has had to take care of several of the overdoses and a lot of the victims of this new drug on the streets. So it's very high action and very high tension and high sexual tension. I enjoy them immensely. But this is the only one in the series so far, and I'm kind of bummed about it.
The next one I grabbed City of Thorns by C.N. Crawford, which I did learn while at the convention is a husband and wife duo pen name, which is really cool. But I read Frost and Ambrosia last week, and those two books were not at the bookstore, so I wasn't sure if they would even be at their table, because you're never really told what books they're going to have available at the table. So I wanted to at least have one book for them to sign, and this was the one I wanted to get to next anyway, so I grabbed this book from the bookstore. And yes, spoiler, they did have Frost and Ambrosia at their table. It's in the next pile.
The last book I picked up I actually picked up A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the book that comes before A Light in the Flame, because I didn't have it and they're giving us the second book, so I should probably have the first book as well. So I picked up the first book, and that was really the logic behind getting this book.
Yep.
No idea what these books are about. No friggin' clue.
It's a spin-off. It is a spin-off prequel series that happens a couple 100 or 1,000 years before the events of From Blood and Ash.
Which I also have not read.
Which you don't have to read this book.
But I haven't read it ever at a jail conference.
Oops, sorry. Oh well. The last book that I picked up was To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. Now, I picked this up immediately after the panel. So one of the things we did after panels was we went back to the bookstore to just kind of look. And going to the panels, I really wanted to, Sarah Parker was on one of mine, and hearing her talk about her book, every time she opened her mouth, I'm like, yep.
You sold me.
There were 2 left, and I grabbed it, and she was so sweet, and I'm really glad that I picked this up. The next set of books that we have are kind of weird, because it's just random books we got that are different from each other.
Again, so, where did you get yours? Probably a good place to start.
Yeah, so
you got that one different.
Yeah, so I ended up getting this book, Cursed Stone by Gretchen D. I was standing with this woman in line for Amanda Boucher, and we just were talking about everything and nothing, books, and where we were from, and stuff like that, how many conventions we've been to. And by the time it was her turn to go talk to Amanda Boucher, she turned back to me and went, "You're really cool. Here's my book," and handed me this. So it was really sweet of her to give me her own debut, which debuted a couple months ago. It is a duology in the making in a boarding school. She sold it as a romantasy, And I was just very honored and excited that she just handed me this book.
That was really cool. The other 3 books that we have between the 2 of us are ones that came from when we told the story earlier about the people who randomly dropped off a bag. These are the other books that came in it.
That we picked.
Okay, that we picked. So the first one I have... So I just, like, I couldn't bring myself to actually buy this. And then I didn't have to, so I have The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert.
Yep. The one I ended up picking was Filthy Sinner by Sarita Ackroyd. I don't know why I picked this, but it's called Filthy Sinner, and
That's why you picked
That's
it.
why I picked it.
And then the last one I'm actually pretty excited about. I got an arc. This is the arc of We Could Be So Good by Cat Sebastian. This is a male-male romance between that is advertised as Colleen Hoover meets the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Perfect for fans of Newsies.
It's such a weird combination of things to call out.
It's oddly specific, but I'm here for it and I'm intrigued, and I started the first chapter. I read like 2 pages and all it is one guy complaining about the other one, and it's kind of funny because he called himself a misanthropic squirrel or something. He called himself a misanthropic squirrel on the first page, and I'm like, all right, you have my attention. So I'm curious.
The last pile we have are the books that we purchased at the convention at the authors' tables themselves.
These are the books we had no self-control about.
Yes. To be fair, I had a plan for 3 of these. I'd like that known.
Technically, I had a plan for 5 of these.
Nice.
Technically, I did.
Technically, you did.
Technically, we did, and then she didn't get to it.
No, I did not. Do you want to talk about that one first then?
I can talk about that one first. So the first one, all right, so I have to apologize for this. I actually don't know what order these books go in. She told me the color order, but she also hesitated, so I need to look it up at some point, and I really just don't want to right now. I went to, if you watched our video last year, you will remember a certain author that talked both Callie and I into buying a whole series. She talked me into another series. Actually, it wasn't hard. I wanted a series by her. Kimberly Kincaid. Apparently, I just give you all of my money. So this is a series that technically, chronologically, actually takes place before the Station 17 series, but she recommends you start with the Station 17 series. I don't remember what this one's called. I don't know what the series is called, actually. I don't think... It's not even on these books.
Oh, Station 17 is written on the books.
I know that. This one is not.
Sorry.
And it's not even in here, so I'm not even sure. Anyways, this is an EMT series, or doctor-type series, because one of these books is about a surgeon. So she has a deal at her table where if you buy 1 book, it's $15. If you buy 2, it's $12. If you buy a series, it's $10, or $12 each for the 2. If you buy a series, it's $10 each and you get a free novella. Mm-hmm. And have trouble saying no to that because I got a free novella too.
Yep.
So if that doesn't help tell you, we've got Better Than Me, we've got Back to You, Beyond Just Us, and Between Me and You. And the novella that I got is actually from a different series that she's recommending that we read, but she said as soon as we finish this novella, we will want to read the next series, which we do not have. So that is The Rookie, which is part of the Intelligence Unit.
It's a mix.
Series.
It's the bridge between Intelligence Unit and Station 17.
Yes. So we'll need to read this, and then read Station 17, and then read this novella. Yes.
So the one that like I mentioned before,
It's now in frame. That's fine. I don't care.
Like I mentioned before, I really wanted C.N. Crawford. They did have Frost and Ambrosia at the table, so I picked them up. This is a Fae portal fantasy where a half-Fae lives in the human side of the world and gets put into these Hunger Games-esque trials to become the new queen of the Fae to power up the world that is dying. And I loved this duology, so I was really glad that they had copies still.
The next one I picked up is The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes by Theo Axelrod. She was lovely to talk to. This is a book that follows Tony Bennett, who she and her band, the Lilies, are aspiring to be rock stars, and it's a lot about their journey trying to become these rock stars and a romance that she ends up falling into.
The next one I picked up was, again, because of the panels, there's a theme. This was from the Monsters, Beasts, and Paranormal panel. This was moderated by Maria Vale, and she talked about her angel book. And she talked about it in a way that is not appropriate to divulge, and it caught my attention, so I went to her table and I was like, I would like the angel book you talked about yesterday, and then she handed me this book. It is called Molly Malloy and the Angel of Death. That's it. That's all I have. That's it.
I would like to read it when you are done,
Yep.
please, and thank you.
Yep.
The next book I got actually was because of a panel as well. There's a pattern here. And that is After Hours on Milagros Street by Angelina M. Lopez. Apparently we are now friends, which I am very excited about. She told me so on Snapchat, or on Instagram. So we are now friends. Yay, I like having friends. This is a story about a bartender who is a Mexican-American, I believe, and she is just trying to take over her grandmother's bar, but this dude, who is a West Coast professor, I believe it was, is basically he doesn't think she has the family's interest at heart, and so he's fighting her the entire way, and it's just about them kind of falling in love, and it sounds absolutely adorable. She is a wonderful person to talk to. The author is. I don't know about these people yet. But I'm so excited to read this because she just convinced me to read it.
The only other book that I planned on getting was Mountain Made of Glass by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a newer drop, but she was unsure as to whether these would sell at the con. So she sent out an email saying, hey, is anyone interested in this? And enough of us said yes, and I booked my happy butt to her table to ensure that I got a copy of this because I love Scarlett St. Clair. I love her writing. She's just such a fun author. One of the sweetest human beings I've ever met. So really glad I was able to get my hands on this copy.
The next book I picked up, again, this is from the panels, is why I picked this one up, and that is Sweet Unrest by Celia Crosby. Celia Crosby is also known as Lisa Maxwell. And this is actually one of her first books. She just reprinted it. She finally got the rights back from it, and she rewrote it from I believe it was a YA romance to an adult spicy romance, and I'm just really excited. I talked to her a little bit about why, and she said honestly she didn't like the way that from what I remember, she said she didn't seem to like the way that the other book ended, so she was able to put the ending she wanted in this one. There are ghosts, and that is what I know. And it's a romance. That is what I know.
The next author that I bought books from was, again, because of a panel. It was the Romantasy panel. I loved hearing about her book, and that is Olivia Wildenstein. Now, I wanted to get her Raven series, or Crow series. It's Crows, not Ravens. Mm-hmm. Her Crow series, but they unfortunately were sold out because she was in the ballroom, which was in the afternoon for us. But I was talking to the attendant, who was a huge fan of Olivia, and I was like, okay, what do you have first of in some of her other series that I would enjoy? So I have Feather and A Pack of Blood and Lies, which is a wolf shifter romance. This is a bird shifter romance, but not crows. Different birds.
Different birds.
So, and again, she had a deal. It was 1 for $15 or 2 for $12. Naturally, I bought both.
This is how it works. All right, and then the last books I have to show you, we've reached the end of my giant pile, is actually from an author I've heard of before and I've never met. This was also her first year at ApollyCon, and that's Stacey Rourke. I got the first book in the Legends saga, which is Crane. This is a Legend of Sleepy Hollow retelling, which I never get enough of. I loved this story as a child. I still like it, actually, which explains so much about me. But this follows a descendant of Ichabod Crane in the modern world, where she shows up in Sleepy Hollow and has to deal with the consequences of that. And the second book I picked up because it caught my eye on her table. She had little labels that kind of described the books in 1 or 2 sentences. And this one said Beetlejuice. And I went, what's the first one? She held it up and I said, I'll take it. And,
yes, please.
And that is Corpse Queen, the first book in the Death Digger's Handbook series. That is all I know.
The last books that I have, I actually was on a little bit of a mission towards the end where I was asking a bunch of other readers in line. I wanted to find a mystery thriller author for my grandma, because she and I talked on the phone before I went, and she was telling me about what books she likes to read, and I'm like, let me find you something. So I asked around about who writes really good mystery thrillers, and the author I was told was Raven Salvador. So I picked up the first 2 books in her Haunted New Orleans series, which is Memento Mori and Malum Discorde. This is a 3-book series, each following different couples, technically. They're mystery thrillers with a bit of supernatural aspects and a little bit of romance. So as she was telling me about them, I was originally only going to buy the 1, but she intrigued me a lot, so I bought 2 copies of book 1. One for my grandma, which I had personalized to her, and one to me, and then I bought book 2. Because she had a sale as well. It was 3 books for $10, like total, not each. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. And I went, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take these. Thank you, and come again.
Good talk.
So
we blacked out again.
Yeah, things happened.
But we're really happy.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Very successful convention.
Very much
a lot smoother this year than last year.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And I think the Titan stuff all went a lot better for them as well. We did not have Titan tickets this year. We had Deity plus a Friday pass.
Which was so worth the money.
Very much so. Very much so. The panels were excellent.
Obviously.
Loved talking to the different authors and would definitely do again.
100% would do again.
I don't think we're ending the vlog here. Might film a little bit tomorrow. If not, I will end the vlog when I get home. So, yes. Let us know what we should read first.
Yep. So many books.
There's too many options.
So many books to choose from.
And Callie's read a lot of them.
I've read a majority of these and I'm really proud of myself.
I have not. No, I have not. I've read like 2 books in this pile.
Without further ado, thank you for watching.
We hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz down below.
And to all of our friends who are potentially watching that we met at ApollyCon, it was wonderful to meet you.
Hi!
Please comment down below. It was fantastic. Would love to continue connecting with you.
Heck yes. Do it.
And that's gonna be it. We will see you guys in our next video.
Bye! So we had to get another suitcase. To make them all fit. So this is our new 28-inch suitcase. It's quite large.
At least that entire side is empty.
Yeah, this entire side is empty. It's just gonna have like clothes in it because those don't fit anywhere else.
Yep.
We don't have a problem. Promise.
Full. Garbage. Full.
This one's full. Full.
You can see that one's full. We have a backpack that's gonna be full. We have a double bag that's gonna be full.
The duffel's gonna go in here so that I can have a carry-on. Ooh, that's heavy. Oh.
We're doing it. We're conning.
Is this how you con correctly?
Having to buy an extra suitcase? Yes.
Okay, then we have conned correctly. That's all I got. I'm tired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. Woohoo! We did the thing. Somehow. Not sure.
I want to get a picture of like all the suitcase, us with like all the suitcases.
Yeah. This is what we're bringing home. We had to buy a suitcase.
I'm literally gonna go this way. Where are you gonna go? I don't know. I have all your clothes. And I have these. Meds and toiletries and everything. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm all set. Ew.